Unmute.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the world. My name is Untitled Chapter. I'm CEO of Accenture based in London and New York. And we are engaging in the smart city project in Hanoi, Vietnam, and also Ukraine, the US and Europe right now. So this is basically fifth time of the Accenture Open Tech Day, where we invite more startups around the world to see the startups capabilities to be involved in this smart city project in the future. So we have the three startups in this session. So I'd like to introduce the three startups right now. So tMonitor from Vietnam is going to actually do first for 50 minutes. And getvista from UAE will be actually followed up. And finally, Gong Gong from South Korea will actually finish the other presentation. So if tMonitor is ready, please let me know. Then it's all up to you.
Okay. Give me some seconds to prepare.
In the meantime, judges, can you mute your computer? I think that will be better. You have 8 minutes to go. You ready?
Hi everyone. Yeah. Hi everyone. Can you see my screen? It's okay.
I can see it. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Today we would like to talk about tMonitor, a social impact AI IoT startup. Furthermore, let's take 1 minute to see how Vietnamese national TV channel introduce about us, a platform to monitor air quality we breathe in every day.
tMonitor là hệ thống theo dõi chất lượng không khí trong nhà, có thể đo được 13 chỉ số về nhiệt độ, độ ẩm, các hợp chất hữu cơ trong không khí, xử lý khủng hoảng như cháy nổ theo kịch bản có sẵn, sử dụng trí tuệ nhân tạo để phân tích dữ liệu, đưa ra cảnh báo sớm về chất lượng không khí nhằm giảm thiểu rủi ro cho con người khi làm việc trong nhà. Hiện sản phẩm được lắp đặt thử nghiệm tại 15 nhóm ngành: viễn thông, nhà máy in nhựa, trường học, văn phòng và bệnh viện. Vượt qua 250 dự án công nghệ khác ở châu Á để trở thành một trong 7 đại diện lọt vào vòng chung kết cuộc thi sử dụng trí tuệ nhân tạo toàn cầu, dành cho tài trợ tham gia triển lãm các giải pháp cho thành phố thông minh, cho thấy sự công nhận của giới chuyên môn đối với startup này.
There's no doubt to say that tMonitor team members are the right mix of passion and experience. I'm Nam, co-founder and CEO. Nghĩa is my co-founder. He will join with me today in the Q&A section. We are both highly experienced in software architect and AI. Besides, our advisory board includes experts from embedded hardware solutions to environmental matters. We all share the mission of making social impacts through improving fresher and healthier air than the present. Being a Make in Vietnam solution built by Vietnamese brainforce and workforce, our mission is to empower the public with the knowledge, motivation, and confidence to live and breathe better, thus improving community health, boosting labor productivity, and ensuring the safety of private and corporate environments as a reasonable expense. tMonitor is an AI IoT solutions, including hardware and software platform to collect, monitor, and analyze the air quality, turning invisible into visible. tMonitor provides appropriate emergency response just in time when any crisis happens. Breathing is a conscious act most of the time. Most of us spend 90% of our life indoors, mainly as a workplace with high density of people and machines, such as in industrial zones in Vietnam. Talking about air pollution, we tend to think about the air outside, but the studies show indoor air is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor. The fact is, lung cancer ranks second cause in annual death rate in Vietnam. Bad air quality accounts for illness, lung cancer, low productivity, huge economical impacts to businesses where the workforce seeks health. From our research, we see that now in Vietnam, lack of public awareness and an affordable real-time monitoring system of air quality is still our weakness to make air fresher. There are over 44 million workers and students in Vietnam who should be paid more attention to their health and their workplace conditions by the government and the heads of enterprises and schools. Our end-to-end system comprises a set of scalable hardware, mobile application, and management web portal. The software part definitely has built-in AI analytics. Despite providing tailor-made solutions for various customers who have 3 main hardware versions, both indoor and outdoor, working under the same software platform, they vary in the number of sensor demand and target segment. Comparing with current competitors, tMonitor aims at niche market in which monitor professional air quality index and give professional focus or tailor-made solution for specific customer. There are some competitive advantages of tMonitor. tMonitor is a specific tailor-made solution for Vietnamese and Asian enterprises. tMonitor can be flexibly customized for various demands of different enterprises. The enterprise owns data collected and analyzed by tMonitor. For building managers, the biggest selling point has been the sensor integration with existing infrastructure such as HVAC and building automation system. The core value of tMonitors as a big data and using artificial intelligence to provide timely analytics, reports, and crisis management. Regarding to the market, indoor air quality solution markets value to grow by 9.55 billion US dollar, over 6% CAGR during the 2020 and 2024. The ASEAN Pacific region is expected to grow at the fastest rate during the forecast period, 39%. And the continuous monitoring segment like tMonitor is expected to dominate the air quality monitoring system market during the forecast period. Our go-to-market strategies will be the B2B2B partnership with building service provider, government authority, and bundle into some home application and other ecosystem like carbon credit platform, a smart home, smart HVAC. Regarding the revenue stream, initially we will approach the CSR funding and social impact sponsorship to gradually deploy the product and then proceed to the next model. In addition to the sale of the hardware equipment, we also charge an annual fee for the software usage, advertising platform, and data analytics as a service. tMonitor provides a reliable IoT security solution and the highest level of privacy to the clients. The strong advantages of smart AI air quality monitor devices tMonitor is incredible, highly compatible, making Vietnam product with a world-class technology, and we are calling for the investment. The global air quality monitoring system is projected at $8 billion at 2030, and the Asia Pacific region is expected to grow at the fastest rate during the forecast period, 39%, and its value $2.7 billion US dollar. And we are share on market target would be the 10% of the APAC market is value 270 million US dollar, and we would like to call for 45,000 US dollar in exchange for 10% equity of our company. At tMonitor, our mission is to empower people with the knowledge, motivation, and confidence to live and breathe better. Thanks for listening. Thank you
very much. Can you disclose your presentation deck on the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. So we have very interesting solution providers, because ESG is kind of a very hot trend. There's a lot of countries these days trying to reduce the carbon to make the air and water much more cleaner. So I think ESG, like environment, social and governance, are actually one of the major ones to lead the whole market. But the thing is, a lot of companies, they're providing the very similar products, the solutions to the public sectors, and also the individual houses or maybe some schools. And so what makes your product and solutions so differentiated from other competitors? And the question is, have you done with your POC? Or if you're done with the POC, then what would be the next step to do it?
Thank you very much. You're right. This is a big market for many other players, but there are only a few within a hand. You can count all the number of players on this continuous real-time air quality monitoring system at the moment. As Nam already mentioned in the presentation, one of the advantages that we build both hardware and software platform all together with one team, contributing by the embedded hardware engineer, the software architect and engineer, and also the environmental experts, and including construction and building expert as well. And we start in Vietnam, so we tailoring first for Vietnam market to cover all the government required air parameters, air quality parameter 13, which is 13, and I think this is unique. This is unique so far for all the product that I study, and we can say it's one of the most complex hardware collection box that we ever seen in the market. Most of them are quite different and quite a few, just like our basic model, which is cover about 5 to 7 air quality parameters. While the Pro version of us, we collect 13 all in one box. So that is one of the unique features that I might say one of the most complex one. The others, since we develop the hardware, we build the AI engine behind that to collect the data and analyze the data. And with that, what we can do with that, a lot of people say, let's do some connection to air purifier, some smart HVAC. That is okay. Most of the solution in the market got that. But in our solution, apart from AI and the API connection to our smart HVAC system, we also have a built-in crisis management system. We have the insurance, we have the owner of the assets, the owner of the offices to store and to plan all the crisis scenario. We say pre-scenario with crisis within the system, so that if something happen, it will automatically trigger those predefined scenario, and everybody involved in that crisis can follow strictly to that scenario in order to reduce the damage and sometimes even save lives. And from that point of view, we also have the possibility to develop the forecasting engine. So we forecast a few seconds, and then at the moment, a few minutes before something happened in the air, by machine learning and we say a deep learning model of the data that the box collected over the past times. So maybe that is some of a few, maybe 2 or 3 different and unique selling point or unique point of our solution.
Okay, good, well done. Any questions from Sonia or Selena?
Yes. So thank you, wonderful product. But I have some questions. So you are looking for 450,000 K for 10%, and what are you planning to using this cash for? Marketing, for increasing revenue, for R&D? Can you share, please?
Actually, Nam run this slide quite fast, so maybe you cannot catch the whole idea. We call for 10% of equity on 450K US dollar, and we spend for 60% to implement like a mass production line. So we have to build the factory line in order to produce the hardware more professionally. At the moment, we have a very small lab, and people doing it in a very small quantity, which in turn create a burden cost for the product. So we think if we can build a mass production line, we can provide more product in 1 month. At the moment, Nam's lab capacity is only about, for the hardware, only 20 boxes a month. And there's a requirement, there's a potential project that require we finish quite early, and we need to triple, at least triple the capacity of the production. That is 60%. Another 30% is to do for the marketing and educating the market, because this is awareness. We have the very first investment. I think we need to increase the awareness, because what we say, we turn the invisible into visible. So sometimes with the problem, with the lung cancer, with a lot of things and with a lot of problems, it only shows the impact to the body later, especially for the many workers from the village to come to the industrial zone and work for 10 years, and 5 years later, after retire, after quitting the job, back to the village, then they got a problem. So we spend another 30% for marketing, but mainly is to educate people about the importance of understand what's in the air that you breathe in unconsciously. The last 10% is for the continuous R&D on the work, both hardware and software. For example, we still need to collect data to run the engine, to update the model of prediction model, as well as the correlation or abnormality detection model of the software. For the hardware, we plan to increase the outdoor version, because we start with the indoor, because it's very important to monitor indoor. For the outdoor, with the weatherproof boxes, as well as the solar power boxes to some places.
Okay, I think that. Sonia, do you have any specific questions, or?
I'm sorry.
Thank you for the answer.
A lot of things to make in detail, so the answer is a little bit long.
Do we have a little?
I'm okay.
Okay, great. So yeah, after this one, thank you very much again, Nambu and Nya, so for your dedications to share your solution services and technologies with us. So hopefully you can be connected with maybe further discussions on the Smart City Hanoi. Then we'll definitely talk about that later. Okay. Great.
Yeah, looking forward to. Yeah. If you have any interest and any question, please let me know later.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, bye bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Selena. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Can I
And,
just look for the other?
Next startup is getvista. So if getvista is ready, Rupert.
Hi there. Hi everybody.
So yeah, so if you're ready, then you can share the your presentation deck on the screen. Then you can just go ahead. You have 8 minutes.
Great, thank you very much. Yeah, so before I play my video, I just want to introduce myself and Vista. So my name is Rupert Brunovich. I'm originally from England, but I now live in California. In 2013, I moved to Silicon Valley to open an innovation hub connecting brands with startups. And it was during that time that I actually came up with this concept for Vista. And then it wasn't until 2017, by that point, I was working with Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a well-known investor and kind of internet personality. It looks like Selena knows who he is, which is great. And I was Gary's head of growth for 2 years, and then Gary was the initial capital into our project. So with that, Vista was based around 2 core principles. One is that big data as a principle is kind of broken. Our relationship with data is volume based, and we're so used to everyone just cooking us and taking as much data as possible about us and our customer journey, but we never really get anything in return. The other side to that is that CRM systems and PMS systems and all these essential customer relationship platforms don't ever really look after the customer, and it's much more about business efficiency and optimization as opposed to the customer really getting any benefit from that. So based on that, I created a platform called Vista, which is a decentralized identity platform for travel and hospitality primarily, but the plan is to roll it out for retail as well. So the idea behind Vista is you store all of your data securely on our platform, on the blockchain, and your profile can then be shared with participating businesses in real time, and they would then receive an actionable, decentralized version of you that's relevant to them. So think of it as the omnipresent loyalty program for everything that you touch. You'd be able to either share your profile before you arrive at a business, or when you arrive, they can scan the QR code that basically makes up your secure profile. Hopefully that does a good job of giving you the kind of background of the business, but I'd like to show you a little video, and then after that, I can answer some questions. Hello?
Yep.
Great. So yeah, I'm now, I can share, answer any questions that you might have about Vista.
All right. So you're done with it?
Yeah, I mean, I can show you a presentation, but I think you've probably seen enough presentations, so I can answer now some questions.
Right. Yeah, I think that the decentralized identity platforms and also the, of course, the blockchain-based one is actually really hot stuff, and in the Western countries now, a lot of countries they act, they're testing it. For example, like blockchain-based healthcare systems in the Netherlands. I think maybe some of the cities they have already tested it, and most the common things and actually is Estonia's e-residential card based on the blockchain. So every countries and initiatives and from private sectors, they trying to verify the solutions and services throughout the decentralized versions, blockchain-based one these days. That because we are building the smart cities around the world, and smart city is actually ongoing projects, and there's no such a kind of finished version of the smart cities. Everything is underway. So in that regards, what do you think about how your solution can be really making a kind of synchronize with the smart city projects? And for example, in Vietnam, we're just maybe building it right there, and also we are building the Ukrainian smart cities as well. They are actually focusing on the cybersecurity because they are still at war.
No, for sure. I think for us, testing Vista in a smart city environment is perfect, because it means that you can actually you can create an environment where everything is Vista powered, whereas our current go-to-market is going industry specific. So we're going after hospitality first, and then maybe retail and aviation. So we've tested our product in market, and it was in a restaurant, and that restaurant got an incremental spend from each customer of around 40%, and drove retention by 20%. But imagine if you could do that, have that experience in kind of a consolidated area like a smart city, then obviously the results would be fantastic, because there's obviously much more value add to a customer if there's multiple businesses that are powered at the same time. So I think it would be perfect for that. Having said that, the reason why we're going after hospitality, because our platform is applicable to multiple industries, is that's where we see the biggest rebound on the back of the pandemic, pent-up demand for the last year and a half, but also it also is a great demonstration of what this kind of decentralized identity can do for personalization and that kind of high-touch environment. Just on that, I realized that not showing the deck, you don't get a lot of the data that we've already collected. So I'm happy to share the deck afterwards with anyone who's interested.
Yeah, I'm interested, so please. I think that maybe Estonia might have some questions about, this, Vista model.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Sonia?
Actually, it's quite interesting, but as Rupert has mentioned, I think I'd be more comfortable about asking questions after I see the deck. I think I think it is definitely a trend, and I don't know how this links directly to smart city, but as you say, it's applicable in many industries, I guess. Are you seeing that happening in California?
So the main role of these decentralized identities is mainly around in a governance setting. So people are utilizing it for like proof of age, for the purchase of like alcohol and cigarettes. They're using it obviously for vaccine passports to a degree, but there's no actual kind of real, what I call kind of tangible use of these identities. And obviously as a concept, people are kind of latching onto it, but I think we're the first platform that's really utilizing it for what I call real world experience. Obviously it's not real world because it's obviously a digital layer to the real world, but I guess it was born out of this idea that online everything is personalized through data, but as soon as you step into the real world, nothing is really tailored by your data because the systems that are in place aren't really, as I touched on, geared towards that. They're much more kind of geared towards an ECRM or some kind of email blast or behavioral ads. So we're really trying to like make a tangible output from these identities.
Excellent. Selena, do you have a question?
So,
Yes, thank you. Wonderful solution. My question is, what are your difficulty right now facing? The first one, and the second one is, and congratulations to get involved with Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my idols.
Really?
The second question is the milestone of revenue up to date and the top 10 of big client using your product right now. Thank you.
Sure. So now I kind of regret not showing you the presentation, but there's, all of this is in there. So our biggest hurdle at the moment, so we already have a partnership with Microsoft. So Microsoft have already invested capital into our business. We're also a partner with Forbes Travel Guide, and also kind of an early stage partner with Salesforce. And the reason I bring that up is because I try to create this foundation where we can scale very quickly with existing, so we can integrate with existing systems. And a lot of those are owned by Microsoft in the hospitality sector. If they're not owned by Microsoft, they're owned by Oracle. The Forbes Travel Guide partnership is about helping us scale and using our platform as part of the accreditation process for Forbes Travel. So at the moment, if you want to get accredited by Forbes to get your stars, you have to bypass certain criteria. But the problem is they don't have any tools or services they can offer the hotels to achieve those accreditations. So what we're trying to do is onboard Vista as the platform that helps hotels really achieve that those star ratings that they're trying to achieve. And Salesforce, it would be a plugin that would be available in their marketplace. So we are using those relationships to kind of, create our kind of back end infrastructure, and also Microsoft are leading the way with digital identity infrastructure. So it's very important that we're involved with them. We're raising $1 million for our go-to-market. So we created the MVP with the initial capital, which included Gary V. And now we're raising this additional capital to get into market and fulfill the LOIs that we have within the hospitality space. And that 1 million would take us up until 1 year of development. It's all development, like hardly any marketing, because all of our sales are through partnerships. And obviously, as I'm sure you're aware, the hospitality sector is very group heavy. So we're not going after particular regions or geographies, we're going after groups. So we'd be able to scale very quickly. Some of the relationships and contracts we have in place vary from anywhere from groups of 15 hotels all the way up to 1,500 hotels in a network, like a Virtuoso or a preferred hotel group. In terms of our roadmap, so our current build is around a booking engine that we're building in partnership with Amadeus, which just got acquired by Microsoft. And the next phase, and that'll be done in a month's time. And then by September, we would have integrated fully onto the blockchain, and also included OwnCloud into our infrastructure, which is an MIT kind of a secure cloud element that we need to obviously ensure that the profiles can be shared with a two-way authentication.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Okay, more questions? Sonia or Selena, if you do have additional questions, please do.
I would really love to see the deck, actually. I think it would be so much helpful. Thank you,
Sure.
Rupert.
Yeah, so Rupert, you can actually send me over with the deck, then I can actually distribute with the other speakers or judges.
Absolutely. Do that now.
We'll figure it out then. Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution and participation.
Thank you very much.
To maybe collaboration in the future for the smart city development.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
So we have 2 startups showing up. So Gong Gong from South Korea might be a little bit maybe difficult because the local time in South Korea is pretty much late night. So we'll close this session and